Okay, so this time I'm going to do my top 10 of the 1980s. I was tagged by Ash from Popcorn and Horror, so thank you for that, Ash. I was born in December of 78, so I'm technically a 70s baby, but I'm definitely an 80s kid. So these, for the most part, are movies I grew up watching, so a lot of this is nostalgia based, of course. So there's going to be some unusual choices mixed in here with a couple of classics. I could probably throw in a good 10, 20 honorable mentions, but I'm going to limit it to two, which are The Heavenly Kid and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. For number 10, I chose Earth Girls Are Easy. A lot of people would call this a guilty pleasure film, but I'm not guilty about it at all. The cast is fantastic here. We have Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum. We also have Jim Carrey and Damon Wayans before they were on In Living Color together. Julie Brown, Michael McKean, Charles Rocket. It's just a great cast, and they all did well here. It's partly a musical, partly a comedy, partly a romance. It's kind of checks a lot of boxes, and it's just cheesy 80s fun, and I just love it. Now, given who my favorite actress is, this is going to seem very low, but at number 9 we have The Lost Boys. I came to this kind of late, actually. And so I haven't grown quite as attached to it as a lot of people from my generation are. But I do love it. It was directed by Joel Schumacher, has a fantastic cast. The two Coreys, Diane Wiest, as I mentioned, Edward Herrmann, Bernard Hughes, who's fantastic all the time. I've never seen a bad performance out of him. He's fun. And also has Kiefer Sutherland, Alex Winter. And so it's just a lot of fun. It's a Joel Schumacher film. The music is fun, especially that sax player in the beginning. I left out Jamie Gertz and Jason Patric. Sorry about that. At number 8, I have Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I was so obsessed with this movie. We had it on VHS, recorded from TV kind of thing, and I just watched it so many times. But it's still amazing to me. The effects really hold up. The combination of animation and live action had been done before in like Mary Poppins, but this, I think, is where they really took major moves forward in making those two things work. So Bob Hoskins, if you consider he was acting with a tennis ball for part of the time, he did amazing here. For number 7, I have Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which was yet another one I rewatched ad nauseum. And this is the Criterion edition that came out recently. I believe it was December. And so I had to get it. I have not opened it yet, though, so I need to get on that. At number 6, we have Adventures in Babysitting, which I've seen so many times I could probably recite it from memory, even though I haven't watched it in at least 10 years at this point. Vincent D'Onofrio is especially impressive in this because he shed all the weight he had gained for Full Metal Jacket in time to play Dawson/Thor in this. And the physical transformation is truly astounding. You wouldn't even know that was the same actor. Whenever somebody complains about how much actors are paid, I point out things like that. You put your body through a lot of the time when you're an actor. So I think they earn their money. And also, work is not steady. I mean, you're getting $3 million for a film, but then what if you don't work for a couple years? You know, I mean, I don't think they're overpaid at all. End rant, sorry. Next up, we have Stand By Me. I think this will probably be on most people's lists when they do these 80s tags, but it's just such a spectacular film. I actually have several versions of it, but this one is really cool. It's deluxe edition, comes with a booklet and a music CD. I haven't opened it yet, as you see, but I scored it recently at my favorite used media store for $1.99. So talking about this one is hard for me because I am a big Rob Reiner fan, and we lost him in a horrible way back in December, as you all know. But This is one of his better films. It's the one that he said he was most proud of, and he should have been. It recently celebrated its 40th anniversary, which is a pretty big deal. So Stand By Me meant a lot to me growing up. And these characters are just slightly older than I was when it came out. So it resonated with me a lot. Even though it was set in the past, it was still, I mean, there's some things that are just universal for kids, regardless of era and gender. At number 4 is Parenthood from 1989, which is where I first saw Diane Wiest, as I've mentioned before. I recently found this special edition that has features and things on it, which is pretty cool. The one I had before was just a bare bones, just has the trailer in it kind of thing. So that's pretty cool. At number 3 is another one I mentioned in my favorite Diane Wiest performances, and that is Radio Days. I know admitting to liking Woody Allen films is controversial at this point, but if you don't separate art and artist at least a little bit, you're going to be left with very few films to watch. I'm just saying. At number 2, we have Coming to America. This was in my Letterboxd 4 favorites when I first joined Letterboxd. So if they allowed 5, it would be there. I was probably a little too young for the dialogue when I was a kid, but honestly, the story itself is quite wholesome. It's just profanity. The cast is excellent. Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall both play multiple characters and clearly separate personalities, separate mannerisms. They just did a fantastic job. And of course, James Earl Jones is here, as well as Madge Sinclair, who also played the king and queen in The Lion King. And this is going to shock no one. Number 1 is The Princess Bride, hence the Clips of Insanity shirt I currently have on. I own several versions of The Princess Bride, but I really like this one because of the reversible nature of the cover. My only complaint with this, you probably noticed when I turned it over, the 2 discs in here share the same peg, and so it comes off very easily. So you probably heard that rattle of it falling down when I turned it over. So that's my only complaint with this version. Otherwise, I really like the design of it. So that is my top 10 of the 80s. That was actually hard to decide because I wasn't sure whether to go with things I loved at the time or things I still love. So I ended up going with things that I still love. I could actually probably do a separate top 10 of the things I rewatched to death as a kid in the 80s. And so that would probably be a slightly different list, but a couple of these would definitely be the same. I can't really think of anyone that I would tag who hasn't already done this. But if any of you are watching this, consider yourself tagged, and I want to see your top 10 from the 80s. So if you make one, please post a comment letting me know. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I will see you next time.